Hi, I'm Tom Johnson, and I'm at the Dallas Summit, the STC Summit, talking with Richard Hamilton, who runs XML Press, which it's a new imprint publishing lots of new voices and other topics in technical communication. So I wanted to talk to Dick to find out what are the titles that are coming out and why he's selecting them. So can you tell us a few of your new titles coming out? And basically, why are you choosing these certain topics?
Sure, be glad to. We're going to have coming out from Alan Porter, who actually spoke at the conference a couple of times, a book called Wiki, Grow Your Own for Fun and Profit, which is about using wikis in a corporate context for both for various kinds of project planning as well as for presenting information to users. And one of the reasons for picking that book is in fact that it is very pertinent to technical communicators, which is one of our core audiences. So that is one. That's probably about October. We're hoping for actually maybe bringing it out at the XML conference in October. Second book is still somewhat tentatively titled. It's called Communicating with Everyone, and it's by Brenda Huebner, about accessibility. And it's about not just web accessibility, which has been covered to some degree, but accessibility in all of the ways in which you communicate. So everything from presentations to paper to audio to other kinds of media, and also to keep you up to date with respect to the various rules with respect to accessibility. And that one, in addition to the audience on that one of the cool things about that one is that we don't realize it, but actually a large proportion of us have maybe situational disabilities. We have things that we don't always think of as disabilities, but things that make it harder for us to access information. And so accessibility becomes important, not just for people who have well-recognized disabilities, but also for those of us, you get a little older and you don't see quite as well, or you maybe need, your color perception isn't quite as good, or your hearing is not quite as good. All those kinds of things she talks about. So that one is probably about the same time, maybe a little bit earlier. And then we have a DITA series just beginning to start up. We're working with Zarella Rendon to do a book called DITA Specialization, and that is about doing specialization with DITA. It'll be looking at both the 1.1, 1.2 DITA, some case studies, and we expect that we will be doing, and this is a little further out in terms of our planning, but we really are going to do a series on DITA that will include some reference material, some in material that goes beyond the 101s that are out there right now. There's some really good books out there that are basic. We want to go a step further.
So you talked about DITA and wikis and accessibility. How do you, as a publisher, figure out what topics are not only hot, but which are going to sell well? What kind of research on the market do you do to kind of figure this out?
Well, some of it is based upon gut, because you don't always know. I mean, you go to a conference like this and you see what people are talking about, and you talk with people, you see you talk to some consultants and you find out what kinds of things their customers are concerned about. With respect to some of our earliest books, they were done because we felt like there was a reason for doing them, and took a chance on that. With DITA is just plain hot, and I don't think there's any question that there is a lot of interest in it and a lot of need for it. And so some of the research is informal, some of it's a little more formal. I use AdWords, and I can see what kind of hits I get back on AdWords, and that'll tell me something about it. But it's mostly a matter of talking to people, and probably less formal than it should be, but informal.
So one last question here. The whole book market seems like it's really struggling against the growing online market of content. Do you find that people still just want books as much as ever, or is the demand for books going down? I mean, especially if you have things like this iPad where you read everything online. What's your sense of the trend?
I still see that, we just, at the show, we had a bookstore, and we had people buying lots and lots of dead tree books. And I think there is still an interest in and a need for printed books. In fact, one of the books we have out right now is a printed edition of the Oxygen XML Editor's Reference Manual. You can get it for free online in PDF. but in fact there have been a significant number of people who have wanted to buy it in print form, and we have it available in that form. That said, pretty much everything we do and are planning to do will be available as an ebook. Both my book, Managing Writers, is available as an ebook, and Gentle's book, Conversation and Community, is also available as an ebook. And we will make them available that way, and I expect that with some of the DITA series, we'll take that a step further, and it won't just be a book in that form, but we'll use some of the capabilities of ebooks to make, for example, a reference manual a little more usable. So I don't, but at the same time, to go back to your question, I don't see Dead Tree books going away for a while.
So if people want to browse the titles that you have at XML Press, can you tell them where they go?
Yes, xmlpress.net. And that's where we are. We are on Twitter at XML Press, and both of those will get you to us.
All right. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for taking the time.